What have you heard so far? If you have diabetes, you can't eat bread. Bread raises your blood sugar. Don't eat bread. It's harmful. Bread contains sugar. If you have diabetes, there's probably one food that turns you on more than any other. Bread. That soft, warm, comforting slice that many of us enjoyed as children. But in the world of diabetes, bread feels like a blood sugar bomb ready to explode. Doctors say, stop. Nutritionists say, dangerous. What about you? You're probably wondering, do I have to give up bread forever? What if I told you that bread isn't the real enemy? What if the point isn't to cut out bread altogether, but rather to choose the right bread that actually works for your body instead of harming it? Yes, you heard that right. There's a bread that diabetics can enjoy, one that's been reviewed, tested, and even recommended by health experts. A bread that won't spike your blood sugar, it can even help balance it. And no, this isn't a trendy keto bread or an ultra-processed low-carb brand. It's made with real, sprouted grains. It's packed with fiber, protein, and nutrients that naturally support blood sugar control. It's called Ezekiel Bread. Today, we're exploring why this bread stands out, how it works in your body, what the science says, and exactly how you can enjoy it without fear. If you're craving bread or tired of strict diabetes diets, this might be the groundbreaking news you've been waiting for. But first, join our family and subscribe. Like the video to support those who are fighting diabetes like you. And turn on the bell notification to track your progress with diabetes. Now sit back and take a deep breath because here we go. Let's get real for a moment. Why is bread, especially regular white bread, seen as such a villain for diabetics? The answer is simple, but powerful. It all comes down to how your body processes carbohydrates. Most regular breads, the kind you find in supermarkets, bakeries, even restaurants, are made from refined white flour. And refined flour is basically sugar in disguise. When you eat a slice of white bread, your body quickly breaks down the starch into glucose. Within minutes, that glucose surges into your bloodstream. Your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas scrambles to release insulin. Your body tries desperately to bring levels back down. And for diabetics, this dance becomes a dangerous cycle. Unlike complex carbs or fiber-rich foods that release energy slowly, refined bread dumps sugar into your system like a fire hose. It overwhelms your insulin response. That's why you might feel tired, sluggish, or even dizzy after eating regular bread. It's why your blood sugar readings shoot up unpredictably. And over time, this constant sugar roller coaster can lead to insulin resistance or make existing diabetes harder to control. But it gets worse. Many commercial breads also contain added sugars, preservatives, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients don't just affect blood sugar. They contribute to inflammation, weight gain, and increased risk of heart disease. So, it's not just the carbs in bread that hurt you. It's the entire package of processed junk most breads come with. This is why health experts and diabetic nutritionists often sound the alarm. Avoid white bread. Avoid refined breads. They're blood sugar bombs. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up on bread entirely. There's a smarter way. A better choice. And that's exactly what we'll talk about in the next part. Where bread isn't your enemy, but your ally. Now that we've uncovered what regular bread really is, let me introduce you to a game-changing product, Ezekiel Bread. This isn't just your average whole grain bread with clever marketing. Ezekiel Bread is on a whole new level. What makes it so special? First, Ezekiel Bread is made from 100% sprouted whole grains and legumes, not refined flour. We're talking wheat, barley, lentils, millet, spelt, and soybeans, all sprouted, blended, and combined into one nutrient-rich loaf of bread. So why is sprouting important? When grains and legumes are sprouted, their natural enzymes are activated. This process breaks down antinutrients like phytic acid, which can inhibit mineral absorption. It also reduces starch content and increases bioavailable vitamins, minerals, and amino acids. In short, sprouted grains digest more slowly, release glucose more slowly, and reduce blood sugar spikes. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism showed that sprouted grains have a lower glycemic index, GI, compared to unsprouted grains. A lower GI means a more consistent and controlled release of glucose into your bloodstream. But Ezekiel Bread doesn't stop there. It's packed with fiber and plant-based protein, which are crucial for slowing digestion and balancing blood sugar. It also contains no added sugar, preservatives, or artificial ingredients. Just real, whole, sprouted food. This makes Ezekiel Bread not only a safer option for diabetics, but also a food that supports blood sugar management. Instead of spiking your glucose, it works with your body's natural insulin response. It's no wonder so many nutritionists and health-conscious diabetics swear by it. But of course, knowing about Ezekiel Bread is only half the story. How does it really affect your body? And what does science say about its effect on blood sugar? So stay with me and we'll continue. So how do sprouted grains like those found in Ezekiel Bread help regulate blood sugar? Let's explore. When grains are left in their raw, unprocessed state, they contain compounds called antinutrient substances, like phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors that inhibit nutrient absorption and digestion. But when grains and legumes sprout, something incredible happens. And enzyme inhibitors that inhibit nutrient absorption and digestion. But when grains and legumes sprout, something incredible happens. Sprouting activates the natural enzymes within the grain, breaking down complex starches into simpler molecules, making them easier for your body to digest and absorb. More importantly, sprouting significantly lowers the grain's glycemic index, GI. This means carbohydrates are absorbed more slowly, resulting in a slow, steady rise in blood sugar rather than a sudden spike. A study published in the Journal of Food Science and Technology confirmed that sprouted wheat and sprouted legumes have a lower post-meal blood sugar response compared to their non-sprouted counterparts. Why is this so important for people with diabetes? Because managing blood sugar isn't just about avoiding spikes. It's also about preventing the crash that often follows. Spikes trigger insulin spikes, which can make you feel tired, hungry, and crave more carbohydrates. But with sprouted grains, these fluctuations are minimized. Even better, sprouted grains increase their soluble fiber content, which slows glucose absorption in the intestine. They also increase levels of magnesium and B vitamins, which are critical for healthy blood sugar metabolism. And it's not just about blood sugar. Sprouted grains support gut health, reduce inflammation, and may even help with weight management, all important factors for people with diabetes. So, when you choose Ezekiel Bread, you're not just choosing a low-carb option. You're choosing a scientifically proven ally in your fight against regular blood sugar. But the benefits don't stop there. Let's continue. You'll be surprised. By now, you know that Ezekiel Bread's low glycemic index helps control blood sugar. But is that all it offers? Absolutely not. Ezekiel Bread isn't just a blood sugar-friendly choice. It's a nutritional powerhouse loaded with health benefits that go far beyond glucose control. Let's start with the basics. Ezekiel Bread is made from a unique combination of organic sprouted whole grains and legumes, including wheat, barley, lentils, soybeans, spelt, and millet. Why is this blend so special? Because when these grains and legumes are sprouted and combined, they create a complete protein source, containing all 9 essential amino acids. This is incredibly rare for a plant-based food. For diabetics especially, maintaining muscle mass and metabolic health is critical. And Ezekiel Bread delivers quality plant protein without the processed junk. But the goodness doesn't stop there. Sprouted grains are naturally richer in B vitamins, especially B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, B3, niacin, and B6. Vitamins essential for healthy metabolism and nerve function. They're also loaded with magnesium, a mineral many diabetics lack, which plays a key role in glucose regulation, nerve function, and muscle health. And let's not forget zinc, which supports immune function, and iron, important for oxygen transport in the blood, both of which are more bioavailable in sprouted form. Even the fiber content deserves attention. Ezekiel Bread is packed with soluble and insoluble fiber, helping to stabilize blood sugar. digestive health, and increase feelings of fullness, making it easier to avoid overeating and cravings. It's like getting a multivitamin, protein boost, and fiber supplement all in one slice. And because it contains no added sugars, no preservatives, and no refined flours, it's a clean choice you can feel confident about. Coming up next, we'll dive into how you should enjoy Ezekiel bread. Because even the healthiest bread needs to be part of a smart, portion-controlled diet. So now you know why Ezekiel bread is a nutritional powerhouse. But how do you actually make it part of your daily routine without overdoing it or risking blood sugar spikes? Because here's the truth. Even the healthiest bread isn't a free-for-all food. Smart choices and mindful portions make all the difference. Let's start with the most important rule, portion control. Experts recommend sticking to 1 to 2 slices per day and pairing it with protein, healthy fats, or fiber-rich foods. For example, 1 slice of Ezekiel bread with a boiled egg and half an avocado, or topped with natural almond butter and chia seeds, or served alongside a bowl of fiber-rich vegetable soup. Why does this matter? Because adding protein, fiber, or healthy fats slows down digestion, helping your body process the carbohydrates in Ezekiel bread more gradually. This means a lower, steadier blood sugar response instead of a spike. And when is the best time to eat it? Breakfast, paired with protein and healthy fats for a steady start. Or as a light snack when combined with fiber or a small protein source. But it's not just about when and how much. Preparation matters too. Always choose toasted Ezekiel bread when possible. Why? Toasting lowers its glycemic response slightly, making it even friendlier for blood sugar control. And avoid turning it into a high-carb meal with sugary spreads or processed meats. Ezekiel bread shines when combined with whole, nutrient-dense foods. A simple, powerful formula to remember. 1 slice plus protein or healthy fat equals a diabetic-friendly choice. It's not about cutting bread out of your life. It's about giving your body exactly what it needs, in the right way, at the right time. And in the next part, we'll look at another key element most diabetics overlook. You've learned why Ezekiel bread stands out. Nutrient-dense, blood sugar-friendly, and packed with sprouted grains. But here's a truth that often gets overlooked. Even the healthiest bread can backfire if portion control isn't respected. Yes, portion size is the deal breaker, especially for diabetics trying to maintain stable blood sugar throughout the day. Let's clear this up right now. More isn't better. Smarter is... So what's the sweet spot? 1 slice per meal, that's it. Not 2, not thick slabs. Just 1, paired strategically with the right nutrients. Why? Because 1 slice of Ezekiel bread contains around 15 grams of carbohydrates, which fits nicely into a balanced diabetic meal when you combine it with protein or fat. Now, imagine this. You eat 2 slices of bread on their own. No protein, no fiber, no healthy fats. What happens? Your blood sugar spikes fast. Then it crashes, leaving you hungry, tired, and craving more carbs. But if you eat that 1 slice with a boiled egg, half an avocado, or some cottage cheese, you'll stay fuller longer, your blood sugar stays steady, and your cravings vanish. This is the power of combination eating. And it's what makes Ezekiel bread work for you, not against you. Timing also matters. Eating Ezekiel bread at breakfast or lunch is ideal. At night, your metabolism slows and insulin sensitivity drops. So you want to keep carb intake minimal during those hours. And here's a pro tip most people miss. If you're craving toast, toasting Ezekiel bread helps lower its glycemic response. It slows down digestion slightly and makes it easier on your blood sugar. It's also important to listen to your body. Some days you might need that extra half slice, others none at all. Diabetes isn't about perfection, it's about awareness and balance. Remember, the bread isn't the enemy. Misusing it is. Mastering portion control is what turns Ezekiel bread into a tool, not a temptation. It's one thing to hear claims from food marketers, but it's another when respected doctors and nutritionists highlight a food's health benefits And Ezekiel bread? It's been gaining attention for all the right reasons. Let's start with what leading nutritionists say. Ezekiel bread's combination of sprouted grains, legumes, and seeds creates a unique nutrient profile. Unlike regular bread made with refined flour, Ezekiel bread retains its natural fiber, plant-based protein, and essential minerals. Registered dietitians like Kelly Schmidt Road emphasize this point. Sprouted grains are easier on blood sugar. They're broken down in a way that allows slower digestion, which is key for diabetics. The sprouting process naturally lowers the grain's glycemic impact, making Ezekiel bread a smarter choice for people watching their glucose levels. And it's not just nutritionists. Endocrinologists and diabetes specialists have noted Ezekiel bread's potential role in diabetic diets. Dr. William Lee, a well-known physician and author of Eat to Beat Disease, explains, when combined with protein and healthy fats, sprouted grain breads like Ezekiel can help regulate post-meal glucose response. That means less spikes and better overall control. Even Harvard Medical School's health blog highlighted sprouted grains, stating they may support better glycemic control compared to conventional grains. Why? Because sprouting increases resistant starch and antioxidants, both of which are beneficial for metabolic health. Let's be clear. Ezekiel bread isn't a magic bullet. Doctors aren't saying, eat this and ignore the rest. But as part of a balanced whole food diet, it's a standout choice. You're probably wondering, if so many experts recommend it, why isn't it more mainstream? The truth is, most people don't know how to use it right, or they don't understand its benefits. That's exactly why you're here. Because when you combine knowledge with action, you unlock the real power of smart eating. And up next, let's hear from the people who've tried it and changed their lives. Hearing the facts is one thing, Hearing real stories from people living with diabetes and actually making the switch is another. Because nothing is more powerful than personal experiences. Let's start with a 56-year-old diabetic from Texas. Diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 5 years ago, Martha struggled to regulate her blood sugar. She loved bread, sandwiches, toast, but every time she ate regular white bread, or even wheat bread, her blood sugar would spike. And it would disappoint her. Her doctor recommended she cut out bread completely. But Martha wasn't ready to say goodbye to her favorite food. Then she heard about Ezekiel bread from a friend at a diabetes support group. Skeptical but curious, she tried it. Within weeks, she noticed a difference. His post-meal glucose levels dropped noticeably, and for the first time in years, he enjoyed toast with his morning eggs, without the usual blood sugar fluctuations. His feedback? I felt like I had some of my life back, Martha said. Then there's another patient, a 49-year-old from California. James, a fitness enthusiast who struggles with prediabetes, had switched to a strict low-carb diet, but he still craves sandwiches occasionally. Instead of falling back into his old habits, he started using Ezekiel bread for his turkey sandwiches. The result? His blood sugar levels stayed within healthy ranges, and his nutritionist praised him for making a smart change instead of depriving himself. James's takeaway? I didn't have to choose between health and taste. And finally, a 62-year-old diabetic from New York. Nina struggled with digestive issues in addition to her type 2 diabetes. After switching to Ezekiel bread, she not only saw better blood sugar balance, but also noticed improved digestion thanks to the fiber and sprouted grains. Her own words. Not only did my blood sugar improve, I felt better overall. These stories aren't isolated incidents. They're proof that when you make smarter choices, even with something as simple as bread, you empower yourself to live healthier. So, after what we've learned about Ezekiel bread, one thing is clear. It's not about giving up bread. It's about making smarter choices for your health choices backed by science, backed by real-life stories and recommended by experts. For too long, people with diabetes have been told to fear bread. It means sugar spikes, weight gain, and poor control. But today, you learn that not all breads are the same. Ezekiel bread is different. With its sprouted grains, high fiber, low glycemic index, and powerful nutritional values, It doesn't act like a typical bread in your body. It works with your system, not against IT. And here's the truth. Managing diabetes isn't about making huge sacrifices or impossible diets. It's about small, sustainable changes that create big results over time. Is it as simple as changing your bread? This could be your first powerful step. Imagine enjoying your favorite sandwich, eating a slice of toast this morning, and doing all of this while keeping your blood sugar under control. It's not just a dream. It's real. It's possible. And it's a change you can make starting today. Here's what you need to do. If this video helped you look at bread in a new way, if you learned something you didn't know before, or if you're ready to control your blood sugar one smart choice at a time, then hit the subscribe button now. Like this video and turn on bell notifications. Because here on this channel, we talk about real solutions backed by real science for real people just like you. Join us on this journey to smarter health. And remember, sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference. Your health, your choice, but you don't have to do this alone. We're with you every step of the way. See you next time with another beneficial food.